Hello, I hope all is well wherever you are. So today's video is about Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I'm finished and it was good and entertaining, kept me intrigued. I really enjoyed this book and I'm looking forward to continuing the series. So I was introduced to a whole lot of characters. My favorite character is probably Hagrid. um, he just gives gentle giant vibes, and I feel like I could really love a person like that. He's funny, he has his flaws, but he means well, and I don't know. I really love that character. So, as you know, I have this series because they belong to my sister who passed away in 2019. And I was in a book slump and I wanted, to try to read something totally different that's not typical of, my usual books. And so I figured I'd give the Harry Potter series a try since I already have all the books. Why not? So, in this particular book, there is a paragraph that I'm going to read that really just stood out for me. It's on page 299, and it's Dumbledore speaking to Harry. So it says, "Your mother died to save you. If there is one thing Voldemort cannot understand, it is love. He didn't realize that love, as powerful as your mother's for you, leaves its own mark. Not a scar, no visible sign. To have been loved so deeply, even though the person who loved us is gone, will give us some protection forever. It is in your very skin." Quirrell, full of hatred, greed, and ambition, sharing his soul with Voldemort, could not touch you for this reason. It was agony to touch a person marked by something so good. And I read that paragraph, and then I read it again. And for whatever reason, it just made me think about our loved ones that have passed on, that we've had such intimate, loving, wholesome relationships with, and how, in their passing, that we are still being guided and looked over and protected and covered and supported, even though it looks different now. It's in a spiritual sense. And for me, I love my sister. She is a huge, huge part of my heart. And in her passing, and since then, it'll be 5 years this year. It'll be 5 years this year. But I know, like, I've never had any qualms about speaking to her. And it takes time to wrap your mind around it. And don't get me wrong, I still miss the physical. I still long sometimes to be able to talk to her, her talk to me, see her, touch her, feel her. I still miss those things. But I also feel seen and heard in her and feel her presence when I simply speak her name and say whatever it is on my heart that I need for her to hear, and trust that some way, somehow, she has received my message. And I don't, you know, hover over it. I don't overthink it. It's just, it is. And it's also trusting in myself and that the universe will deliver. Because I had like this whole aha moment about our deceased loved ones, and how it all works, which nothing is guaranteed, nothing is a fact. It's just, it's a feeling. And I can sense my sister's presence. And it's like I really can't explain it past that. And this passage really it really struck a chord, because I do feel like my sister is looking out for me. I do feel like she is, a part of my tribe that supports me and covers me and guides me and walks with me, and gives me that confirmation that I'm never ever alone in this world. And I don't feel alone in the world. And there was a time that I did. I mean, there was a time that I did when she was alive, when we were all together. I mean, that was just a different version of me, but I felt very alone in my life at one time. And then going through Brianna's transition, I don't think I had time to focus on loneliness and like that part of the loss, because grief just colored everything. And then as that got easier, going through that period of, yes, now I feel, and it wasn't lonely, it was just feeling sisterless, because I didn't crave anyone in my circle as much as I craved my sister who was no longer here. So you go through that period, and then, pursuing healing and opening up doors within myself, you know, finding and nurturing younger Brandy, coming to accept that everything happens for a reason, that everything had to happen for me to get where I am today. I used to like think back to what I would do differently and what I wish I would have done. I even had like recently having a moment of what I could have done more, for Brianna and her, you know, her cancer journey, and what I wish coulda, woulda, shoulda, you know. But truth be told, I also came to accept that no matter what I may have wished would have happened, that, I mean, it was just God's will. There was nothing that could be done to change that. And that stands for like so many things. You know, we have no control over how we're going to leave this world. We have no control over so many aspects of our lives. And I accepted it. And for myself, I'll always miss her. I'll always love her. I'll always feel like a piece of my soul is missing. Um, but the wound itself is healing. And I want to say one day that I could consider my sibling loss wound healed. Um, and I say that because I feel like my relationship, it just never ceased. Um, there are just, I want to say there's so much that I can say, but I really cannot describe all of the feelings. Like, I no longer feel sisterless. Um, I just know she's there. Like, I feel comfort in that, immense comfort in that. And like, I don't even talk to her as often. This is what I'm talking like in a dream. When she comes to see me, that isn't often at all. And if I had my way, it would be way more often than what I'm currently blessed to have. Because I'll take whatever I can get. But in all honesty, like when I think about the spiritual world, and this is just me, this is just my imagination, this is just, you know, my view, because we truly do not know what happens when we die until we die, right? So I just imagine that Bree's spirit literally just left that body and moved on. Another plane, another life. I can't explain it, but I feel like it was confirmed in my dreams, because like I've seen her older uh, than her 22 years that she died at. I've seen her older. I've seen her like doing certain things, and even um like changes in her voice. It's deeper, it's more mature. And so like with that confirmation, I feel like when I say she doesn't come as often as I would like, it's because she's essentially, you know, living her life wherever she is, and she just gets the opportunity to drop in every once in a while. And besides the dreams, it's like seeing her birthday in certain places, or being in places, and it could be like a flash, but it's just a glimpse of her, clear as day. And I'm thinking about a time when I was at Disney. We were at the hotel, and I was in the courtyard, and I was walking up the sidewalk back to our room, and we were like in a corner room. So I believe we had left the blinds slightly, like it covered half of the window, and the other window was half was open. And it was a simple glance to our hotel room window, just a simple glance. And it was literally like I saw her peeking around the corner, and she was looking dead at me. And I literally blinked, and she was gone. But it hit me so hard, like I stopped walking, and then a butterfly floated right across me. And it was just like a feeling just kind of just came over me. And I just got this sense that she was saying, like, I'm just dropping in, just checking in. And it was just so magical, like, and so I say all that to say, like, I couldn't be here to experience all of these things that I'm experiencing and feeling spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. Like, I used to wonder, and I still will sometimes, because I'm human, and I still miss her physical presence. And so, like, even wondering, like, what would we be doing together if she was still here? But also keeping in mind that, again, I wouldn't be experiencing this exactly as is for the last 2 years that I started to be intentional about healing and feeling better about myself and wanting better for myself and doing better for myself. It wouldn't be exactly like this if it went any different. So I'm accepting of it. I wouldn't change anything. I had to learn how to be happy. I had to learn how to talk to myself better, to change the way I think about myself. I had to do so much work to get here. And I'm proud of that. And again, it wouldn't be like this if life didn't move exactly the way it did, through every single up and down, trial and tribulation, every uphill battle, every celebration, like all of it. All of it had to occur. Like, my entire life thus far had to happen just as it did for me to sit here and be able to say, I am happy. I feel loved. I feel guided. I feel supported. I feel protected. I feel connected to God, to every single angel in my spiritual tribe, like embarking on solitude, abstaining, all of it. It took everything for me to get here. And I'm just overwhelmed with so many feelings all the time. And it just fills me up to the brim. And like there's 1,000 birds literally flying across the sky right now. And it's just all seems to be further confirmation to everything that I'm saying. But I took that one little paragraph and ran with it, literally. But this was a good book, and I'm gonna do a video for each book. So I'm so excited that I started this. Oh, and one more thing. So the next book is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, right? And this is another moment that I had. So when I opened this book, right, a picture fell out. So apparently my sister went to a comedy show. I believe his name is the Scary Owen. I've never seen this picture, ever. And she's smiling. And it fell out. It fell out as soon as I opened the book. I've never interacted with her books until now. They literally have just been sitting in their case on the shelf. And I've never, ever, ever seen this picture. And it just fell out, and I'm just like, I love you. I love you so much. And I'm just thankful to be open to still receive my sister in spirit. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful experience. So until next time.